Hey everyone, Alex here. Welcome to another edition of the Bandsaw Life. Now today I'm here with Carter Products, and what we're doing is we're taking the original guides off of the Rikon here, Rikon 14-inch saw, and we're going to put Carter guides in their place. All right, now they're pretty simple to take off. Get yourself a number 4 Allen wrench and loosen the guides on the post. Then all we have to do is loosen the shaft itself, slide it out the back, and the top comes out very easily. Now, I would strongly suggest that you remove your table so that it's much easier to install these. It's something you don't have to, but it is definitely a lot easier to do, and that's what we're going to do. Now, I've taken out 3 of these bolts. But it's basically the 4 bolts that go through the trunnion that you're going to have to remove. Make sure you keep pressure on the back, because as you see, that table does want to go forward. We'll get that out of the way. All right, now the lower guides are pretty easy to take out as well. We just loosen up that screw so that we can slide that back to get to our front Allen wrench or Allen bolt, and then slide it forward so that we can get to the back. Now we've got everything out, we're ready to reinstall. So since we've got everything out of the saw, now let's go ahead and put our lower unit back in, the Carter guides. And we just put those 2 screws right back into place. We don't want to tighten those yet because we may need to move this unit forward or back just depending on where we need to set it. And should we need to move it side to side, there's an Allen screw right here to adjust it side to side as well. All right, now the upper guides are easy to install as well. Best way to do that is to just put that shaft into place. You can see it is an offset shaft, so we can move it side to side, up or down. And we'll just put that into place where we think it will be close. We'll just snug it up. We don't want to tighten everything up because we need to now install our blade to align the guides. All right, now when you install your blade, make sure that it's not touching any of your guides. We'll just put that into place. So we've got our blade installed. We put the deepest part of the gullet right in the center of the wheel, just like we always do. Now we're ready to adjust our guides to that blade. All right, now we need to line that back thrust bearing up with the blade. And the way that we do that is we just loosen that little 1/8 inch Allen screw. And then we'll loosen the post so that we can adjust it to where it's right behind that blade, dead center. And then we'll tighten that 1/8 inch to make sure it's nice and aligned there. Now next, we need to adjust those side guides front to back so that they're just, the front edge of that bearing should be just behind the deepest part of the gullet. So we'll set that. Then we need to start with our adjustment, and the best way to do that is to bring our thrust bearing up. Now, the first thing we need to do is adjust those side guides so that the front edge is just behind the deepest part of the gullet. Then we can tighten these two Allen screws up. Then we'll move our thrust bearing up to the back edge of the blade as close as we can get without it touching, so that when we rotate the wheel, you can see they don't turn, but just touching right here in the center very slightly will cause that bearing to turn. Let me do this real quick. You can see that it doesn't turn, yet touching right here in the center causes, very lightly, causes both the upper and the lower thrust bearing to turn at the same time. Yet when we turn the wheel, neither of them rotate. Now the last thing we need to do is adjust these side guides, both top and bottom, so that they line up as close to the blade as possible. All right, now the way that we adjust these side guides is we just simply bring them as close to the blade as possible so that when we rotate that, it's not turning. You can see it just has a little bit of movement. Do the same thing to the outside. A little close. You can see we've got just a little bit of movement there, and then we need to adjust that bottom set. So we just bring that side guide in there as close as we can get without them actually touching. We got a little close on that outside. Now we've got a little movement there, a little movement there. We're ready to reinstall our table and see how this thing cuts. All right, now that we've reinstalled our table, we need to set the fence. And the way that we do that is, again, we'll take a F.A.S.T, which is a fence alignment system tool, magnet for the blade, a groove for the offset of the teeth, and just drop that right into place. That way I can see where square is to the body of the blade, and I can line this fence up dead accurate. We'll go for about 3/16 of an inch here. Safety first. Dead on accurate. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Bandsaw Life content.